Yo, this is not concerned with women having no racial preference for dating or sex or being so-called colorblind. Rather, I explain the phenomena of white women either consciously or unconsciously preferring black men for relationships and or sex. I also address the phenomena of white females who are exclusively interested in black males only. First, I'll address the common notion that many women go after black men because they have larger penises. Now, most people are polarized here and just want to reinforce what they believe instead of honestly examining all the facts. One camp claims that all black penises are far bigger than all white ones, and that size makes a huge difference in the pleasure a woman gets. The other camp claims that there is no difference whatsoever in penis size, and that size would make no difference anyway. But with honest research into anonymous surveys, medical examinations, and testimony of many women, it is safe to say that black penises are bigger, but only about 10 to 15% lengthwise and widthwise. And size does make a difference, but only somewhat. Yet there are some exceptions where a certain white man's penis is bigger than a certain black man's. And if you think your penis is too small, I would recommend that you be satisfied with what God gave you and not incur the expense and risk of surgery or other attempted alterations, which would likely fail anyway. Black men may also have better stamina and vigor in the bedroom due to higher testosterone levels. However, that might be accompanied with increased aggressiveness, which may be a turnoff. Regardless, there are other more important factors when it comes to attraction in relationships. White women have said that their attraction to black men is partly because they have so-called swag. Having swag is defined as carrying oneself in a way considered to be sexy, cool, and or progressive, or stylish confidence. This seems akin to having social charisma. And I believe that social charisma cannot be obtained, that you either naturally have it or you don't. However, I've noticed that lots of white men are, relatively speaking, withdrawn and antisocial. This can be corrected. So, fellow white men, if you put forth the extra effort to be more social, talkative, and outgoing, you have a chance to also be considered to have swag, if you are not so considered already. There is a saying, once you go black, you never go back. This is sometimes true, but sometimes not. Also, there are some women who went white and never went back. They could say, once you go white, nothing else seems right. Or, once you go white, everything's all right. Or, once you go white, your future looks bright. Or, once you go white, it's pure delight. I understand the added excitement of having a pronounced color contrast in a partner, the exotic aspect of being with one of a different race, and the appeal of breaking what used to be a forbidden taboo. An estimated 45% of white American women have had intercourse with one or more black men, while our black population is only 13%. However, there are two issues here. First, the wise course of action is to follow what would be best for you long-term over your lifetime instead of substituting something you may lose interest in once the novelty wears off and which may be useless or harmful as a long-term plan. Secondly, every race has its own special qualities and is beautiful in its own way. But if people continue to mix and reproduce, every race would lose its distinctive qualities. It would ironically eliminate diversity. Now, the biggest factor in white women wanting black men, along with other groups wanting mixed-race relations, is the universal and relentless propaganda. Since I was in high school, a book that was and still is required reading for all students is To Kill a Mockingbird. It features a white woman who allows a black man to commit adultery with her. Then some bigots become enraged and kill the man. It presents an either-or fallacy. Willingly mate with another race or you're a hater. But a third option is always available. Stick with your own race while being kind to people of other races whom you come across. And waiting till marriage to have sex and remaining monogamous within marriage has proven to give the greatest relationship stability. There was a time when someone noted, there are more interracial couples featured in TV commercials in just one day on British television than there are interracial couples in the entirety of England. Now, if it was a roughly equal number of people of different races behind the propaganda, I would simply chalk it up to people wanting to be progressive. But I discovered that it's almost always those of Jewish heritage behind the propaganda. On top of that, I discovered that most Jews would refuse to marry someone outside their Jewish heritage and would forbid family members to date a non-Jewish person. These facts, coupled with the fact that many Jews are documented as being racial supremacists, forces me to conclude that such people want all other races, cultures, and ethnic groups to be easily identifiable by being muddled together and subservient to themselves. To achieve this, white men are falsely labeled oppressors, and white women and black men, both falsely labeled as the oppressed, who then seek solidarity with one another based on that false pretext. If not, what else could it be? My viewer, are welcome to comment on what you think it is. But if you cannot come up with anything, I would advise you to look into what I have concluded. If I was looking for a mate, I would have no problem marrying a white woman who had numerous black boyfriends and sex partners. If she had caught jungle fever or whatever, it is what it is. But like Barack Obama failed to better things and instead had a failed presidency, I clearly see race mixing as communist and leftist propaganda. So let's drop the political correctness and do whatever we can to move forward.